Asante sana. In studio, we do have Beatrice Gambo. She is a deputy party leader, Jubilee. Beatrice, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
And Happy New Year.
And Happy New Year.
Oh, yeah, we've not seen each other this year. Happy New Year. Na Happy New Year pia kwa wasikilizaji.
You see?
Na heri njema.
I told you. When you see somebody for the first time, you've not seen them in 2026, you have every right to say Happy New Year.
Absolutely. Even if it's in April.
Yeah,
you still say Happy New Year if
yes,
you've not seen them that year.
Jamani.
Inaitwa etiquette.
Popoleni lakini mi yangu yaisha tarehe 7.
Inaitwa etiquette, si ndio? Beatrice, how have you been?
Well, that's a very loaded question.
It is.
Kwa sababu mengi yametokea.
Yeah.
Alafu hii syllabus ya hii mwaka inaenda mbio sana. Syllabus ya siasa inaenda mbio. Syllabus ya mambo ya maendeleo inaenda mbio. Kwa mfano mambo ya elimu. Kama ni jana nilipigiwa simu na mama mmoja kutoka Shanzu. Najua kwa neema ya Mwenyezi Mungu 2027 Mungu akipenda nitaapishwa kuwa mbunge wa kwanza wa kike wa Kisauni. Watu wananipigia simu. So nikapigiwa simu na huyu mama kutoka Shanzu na akaniambia placement ya mtoto wake aliyopata ni day school Tana River. Sasa nikashangaa. Yaani huyu mtoto kila asubuhi saa 12 atakuwa akichukua gari ama matatu akielekea Tana River huko Gariseni Hola akiattend day school alafu akirudi Shanzu. You understand? So kumekuwa na mambo mengi, you know, I mean mambo ya placements, it's been chaotic. And that's only one story, and there are very many more. You know, wengine ni watoto wa kike wamepata placement kwa shule za watoto wa boys school.
Yes.
So I was like, come on. I mean, mtu kiangalia details zake, tayari hata bila kuambia, ukisoma jina tayari linakuambia kwamba huyu ni mtoto wa kike ama wa kiume. How do you place a boy in a girl's school and you actually go ahead and release that document to the parents? I mean, so mambo mengi sana amekuwa kitokea hapa Kenya. Mengine amekuwa kitokea ni ODM. ODM, yes. I mean, wakiwa hawajui waseme nini.
Yes.
You know, because juzi nilishangaa sana niliposikia dadangu Mishi kutoka Likoni akiwa kwa mic na akiongea na sauti ya juu, okay, ya kwamba aliyechukua pesa za agents ni Muhoo Kenyatta. My friend, Muhoo Kenyatta ni kakake rais mstaafu Mbodo party leader wangu Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta, na pesa zilitoka kwao zikienda kupeana kwa agents. So how is it that now you're telling us that he's the one who took the money from you, yet he was the one who gave you the money? You know, so ndo nasema kuna mambo mengine amekuwa yakiendelea kwa sababu sisi tuliongea kwanza. By the way, if you follow that conversation, agents who ate agents money na nini, it actually came from ODM itself. And it did not just come from a member of ODM. It actually came from the Secretary General of ODM, my brother, my friend, Mheshimiwa Sifuna. Yeye ndo aliyesema ya kwamba pesa ililiwa na Junet. So when you come back and
how it's not coming to your party leader now.
Yes, how is it Jubilee now that is being dragged in this conversation for what? So I mean,
mambo ni mengi kweli.
Mambo ni mengi na masaa ni machache. So ndo maana nasema leo tarehe 14
syllabus iko speed.
Na ikifika saa 5 leo watu wa Chelsea jitayarishe.
Okay.
What's happening in the you're a
football fan and ni mtu wa Arsenal.
Oh really?
They are playing tonight.
Gunners, we are playing tonight.
Yes. I cannot wait. Najua Salim ataniambia updates kesho
asubuhi. I will
asubuhi.
give you updates hata
no, si kesho kupatia leo.
Nampata saa itakuwa kesho, game kisha itakuwa saa 7. So
Beatrice, I want us to start to take a look at a story that we had on the Standard newspaper today, Leo. Ikisema Ruto's reality check. And in a nutshell, they're saying that his hold on Mount Kenya is weakening and that his climb up the mountain is getting slippery. His latest tour, where only 2 governors out of 11 joined him to launch projects, is a pointer to a switch in allegiance. Yes. Is he able to sway people in the Mount Kenya region?
You know, Kenyans are highly informed. Wakenya sahii wanajua. Okay? Na nikisema Wakenya wanajua, sijui kama nilisema hapa ama nilisema wapi. Mwaka wa 2012 kwa neema ya Mwenyezi Mungu nilitunukiwa na serikali ya Marekani kwa kupitia Rais Obama. Akaniita pamoja na viongozi wengine 14 kutoka bara la Afrika. Mimi ndio nilikuwa nawakilisha Kenya. Na tukaenda kule kuelimishwa kuhusu mambo ya uongozi bora, you know. So tuliitwa upcoming African leaders, ama viongozi wa Afrika ambao wanachibuka. Na wenzangu wengine sasa ni magavana nchi zao na nini. Anyway, so tulivyoenda kule, swali ambalo tulikuwa tunajiuliza, ni nini ilileta umaarufu wa Rais Obama kwa ule muda ndio kutaka hichi kipindi cha pili. And mbali na maendeleo aliyokuwa anafanya, the social media. Na tulipata nafasi ya kuenda around 8 states in the United States. States 8. Na katika kila states tulipata nafasi ya kuingia katika zile sehemu, ama walikuwa wanaziita zile centers za siasa za Democrats na Republicans. And one constant was the usage of social media to send out whether propaganda or information, you know, about the candidate. And interestingly, including very old people who are on phone. Hata sauti zao zinatetemeka, ukiona wanatembea na vigongo, ni wazee wakongwe, but wanaelewa umuhimu wa social media. Now, Wakenya sahii wanaelewa umuhimu wa social media. Kakangu leo asubuhi nimeamka, I'm a very early riser. By 5:30 nimeamka. I belong to the 5 a.m. club. I'll send you that book. Na baada ya maombi, okay, I went to my social media. That's the next place I go to after having spent time with my God. I go to the social media and I flip through and I saw things and I'm like, oh, so I went to TikTok. Nikatoka nikaenda Facebook, nikaenda WhatsApp. So when the standard media says that the mountain is slippery, the mountain is very slippery. I think they are being very economical with the description of what Ruto is facing in the mountain right now. Because juzi dadangu na nampenda Mudhoni, ambaye ni women rep wa Lamu. She's my friend, by the way. Alienda kwa mazishi na akaongea kuhusu tuta. Oh my God. You saw the reaction. She actually had to be whisked off, you know. And I pray she was not. Anyway, she later sent a text or whatever on Facebook and said she's safe. So I'm glad that she's safe. Hakuumizwa mahali na nini. But that tells you that people are not postponing their reaction to what they think in the mountain, to what they think about Ruto. They are not postponing those feelings anymore. Kitambo watu walikuwa na postponed. I was looking at a photo. Well, I cannot vouch for it, but I looked at a photo and somebody actually did some analysis on those photos and the crowd, and I was like, oh my God, if this is true, then the mountain is really, really, really slippery. Okay?
Yeah.
So I think the power of social media, and somebody said, and I'm yet to find out who this is, but somebody said information is power. But my Bible says that my people perish because of lack of knowledge. Now Kenyans right now are out to get knowledge. They are really, really out to get knowledge. Hata mtu ni heri apate simu ya mkopo, lakini awe na simu ambayo inamwezesha kuingia kwa WhatsApp, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, you understand? So that now they can be able to get information. And I'm telling you, including kids. I have a 3-year-old. Now, I have not coached her. But when I call the first thing, anasema Ruto wanta.
Oh.
I have not coached her.
Why?
Then I asked, how did she know? How did she get this information?
In school?
TikTok.
Online?
She picked her mom's phone.
Yeah.
Akaona siku moja, siku ya pili. And honestly, the song of Wanta must become a mantra.
Why do we say when we say that the mountain is slippery? What triggered this? Is it the exit of Rigathi Gachagua from the government, or what is it? What's weakening his stronghold in the Mount Kenya region?
I believe it's not only one indicator. You know, when you want to measure anything, you use indicators. So this one Gachagua is a factor, of course.
Yeah,
it's one. Okay, because I was telling someone, even if you are removing, hata kama wamtoa mtu, ifanye na heshima bila ya kusahau changizo ya huyu kiongozi kufikia pale ulipofika. Na nakumbuka mimi, of course tuko na watu huko wanaongea wakati alivyokuwa yataka Rais Ruto alivyokuwa yataka kuchagua naibu wake, kulikuwa na drama nyingi sana hapo. Okay, kulikuwa na drama nyingi, of course wengine hatujui, lakini Gachagua amesema karibuni atatuambia kila kitu, so si tuangoja kusikia. Yani kile wakati akisema akifanya media invite tuko hapo tuwasikiza. By the way, people, Kenyans are actually, if Ruto is to do a media invite at the same time with Gachagua, trust me, a majority will go and listen to Gachagua. Why? Because we have actually looked at the promises that the president has made since he got into office and what he has actually delivered. I mean, honestly, it's sad. And when you have to say it and lie to Kenyans, hivi ukiwaangalia without blinking, and you think people don't know, social media, I have clips that I have posted kwa mitandao. And nowadays, Barisa and my sister, when I look at, the way somebody clips a message so that it's like it doesn't escape their platform, has increased. Meaning one day they will come back to that post.
Yeah.
So Kenyans have understood how to clip messages and make reference to them in the future. In fact, that has actually increased. So the mountain is slippery. Oh yes, it is slippery.
Yeah.
And soon, many other places will be very slippery. Because people, by the way, this election, it's an election that is going to be based on how well people break down information for the people. Waona hizi bunge za wananchi hizi. Those people take time. Kwanza ile ya Jubilee ile. Me, when I see it, I take time and I actually listen to it. Now you can imagine how many more Kenyans do that. I am a very busy person. Yet, when I see it, I stop and I listen to what these guys are saying. So there will be a lot of dissemination of information to the people. Yani watu sasa watakuwa wanapata ujumbe. Mimi huwa na mara kadhaa, si mara moja. Huwa natoka naambia jamaa zangu tuende tukalebajia.
If as we're heading towards 2027, without the support of the Mount Kenya region, does our president stand a chance of 2-term?
No.
Okay, why do you say that?
Because that is where he paged. The reason why he went back to picking Kindiki, who is from Mount Kenya, to be his deputy, is exactly that. Because he believes he needs to hold the mountain. And for some reason, if you look at the trend, ya mountain, they usually vote as a block. Ata Baba, God rest his soul, alipata about 1.2 million. But the rest went to whatever. I mean, if you look at how the mountain votes, hata utaona mpaka wazee, watu wanatolewa hospitali wanaenda kupiga kura wanarudishwa hospitali.
But the percentages zilishuka.
Percentage.
Si kama za venye walitoka 2013.
Yeah, but who was the presidential candidate? He was from their home.
Now, do they have a presidential candidate as of 2027?
But do they have a party?
Okay.
Thank you.
They have a party?
Let me just say this with a lot of humility.
Go ahead.
Kenyans are aware. Na si unajua kama juzi rais alienda kwa shule moja pamoja na naibu wake. Akauliza watoto huyu anaitwa nani? Watoto walisema kama fire, ni fire si fire. And I was like, oh my God, these are kids. Na let me tell you, ndo nimekuambia mtoto wa miaka 3 anasema Ruto one term. If you listen to the Gen Zs, kama jana kulikuwa na mkutano mkubwa wa wale mayouth ambao wanasimamia viti Kenya nzima. I think Eric Omondi has started that movement. That's not a joke, huh? You know, I looked at it and I was like, okay. It's not a joke. So, does Ruto have a chance to redeem himself? No.
Do you think there's a strong candidate for 2027?
I was talking to somebody the other day. And I have talked to many other people. And they told me, anybody but Ruto.
Okay. So anybody...
You understand?
Yes.
Anybody
but
Ruto.
Who?
Exactly.
Who's that anybody?
I mean, for us, you know, in the United Opposition, we are spoiled for choice.
Who is that person?
We have Fred Matiang'i, and I will vote for him because I am from Jubilee. He's my colleague. He's a deputy party leader. I'm a deputy party leader. He's a flag bearer. Okay? And if you actually noticed Mheshimiwa Matiang'i, there's something about him. You actually need to sit and listen to him. Recently, last week, he was in Mombasa. We were in Mombasa, and then we went with him to Kwale. You know, I sat later with those people. There was a man who teared when Daktari Fred Matiang'i was talking, responding to his question. He teared. And those are not tears like just any tears. They're tears that finally, there is hope that we can salvage this country.
So this person is Matiang'i?
Yes.
Do you think Matiang'i has gotten through to the voter enough to sway this person to vote for him in 2027?
2027, my sister, is going to be based on the records. People are going to make reference to who you are, not how well you speak English or how fluent you are in Kiswahili. They are going to look at your record. And if you look at, and I remember one time telling him that he's an outlier. Outliers are people who have a certain ground, you know, to allow them to spring to the next higher level.
Yeah.
Okay? One, alikuwa interior. Alikuwa waziri wa interior. Okay? And you see, he even said, hakuna haja ya kuimport nguo za polisi, everything will be done here. One, that immediately, directly creates jobs. Two, it makes money circulate in the country, among others. Two, he was alikuwa waziri wa ICT. And it was that time that now you people can enjoy all these...
Hatuna laptops, lakini bado.
Laptops, now you see that.
Za watoto.
What laptops?
Zile za watoto.
Which ones?
Zile zilikuwa zinafaa zipeane kwa shule.
I think I need a day to come and explain to you exactly what happened.
What happened? But you don't have them.
So by the way, yes.
But we moved from analog to digital during that time. Now, to me, that's a milestone for a country. You know, in the 21st century, and we were still, you know, dancing in the analog, he moved us to the digital. Okay? 3, alivyokuwa waziri wa elimu, I don't even have to talk about it. We all know what happened.
Self-explanatory.
You understand, eh? I mean, by Christmas, kila mtoto alikuwa na majibu yake. Alikuwa anajua vile amesimama na nini. Right now, we had to... Watu kidogo wende maandamano kuuliza. Now, look at... so, we will actually look at that. And then now we come to... Of course, the opponent will be the incumbent. So we actually used the same indicators, you know, to compare, to build up a comparison between the two. What I can tell you is that the opposition is going to work together all the way. I remember one person who voted for Ruto in 2022. Alinishika mkono, a relative, I'll not mention her name. Akanishika mkono, akaniambia please. Then nikashtuka nikasema na nini? Huyu ana nini? Maybe anapitia hali ngumu. Na ni kweli anapitia hali ngumu. Akaniambia nawaomba kama opposition mushikane. Nawaomba. As in it was a prayer.
So what you're saying is we will see everybody who's in the opposition come together.
Absolutely.
And field one single candidate.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's our plan.
Anyway, ndakurudisha nyuma pale kwa slippery.
Yes.
The mountain. Ambayo Miriam ameuliza. The same mountain ilikuwa slippery kwa your party leader. Tukielekea 2022. Because alikuwa anampigia debe marehemu, Mungu aendelee kumrehemu, as Jubilee. Na wengi wenye waliingia UDA walikataa mambo ya former president. Kwa sababu waliamini kwamba hakuna maendeleo ambayo kwamba amefanya, hakuna kitu ambacho kwamba walikiona. Wengine wakangoa mpaka ni mikahawa, masijui majani chai na avocado, mambo ya maziwa, sijui price ilienda shagala bagala. What makes you think kwamba the same mountain, watu wa huo mlima, kwamba watafanya maamuzi tofauti na yale ambayo kwamba waliyafanya? Now this time watashikana na Gachagua ama the united opposition kumkimbiza huyu ili asipate hata hizo kura 1.2 milioni.
Kuna wakati rais mstaafu rais wa 4 wa Jamhuri ya Kenya Mheshimiwa Uhuru, wakati ule wa campaign akaongea karibu masaa 3 mpaka akaongea kilugha, akiambia watu jamani, mimi nimefanya na huyu na namjua, nyinyi mchagueni huyu mzee. Maliza uende. That's what people are saying. Sio kitambo walianza kulia. Baada ya mwaka na nusu wakasema njoo tuzungumzie, tuko tayari kuomba msamaha. Na hiyo sauti iko mpaka leo. Na ndio maana ukienda, unajua sasa hiyo walikuwa wameambiwa sasa kuna wheelbarrow ya kwamba kuna bottom up. By the way, bottom up ni nini? Mimi
you are the politician, you need to tell us.
No. But I did not come with that slogan. Okay. That has completely not made sense, because it was actually sold to them. Just like sai nasikia Singapore inauziwa watu wengine ambao wanasikia raha kusafiri.
So naenda Singapore.
Singapore. Sasa hao walipakejiwa something that made economic sense. And they embraced it, unfortunately. Only for them to realize that it was hot air. Now they are very angry. They are very angry. Because kama si hivyo, hungeliwaona wengine sai wameenda DCP, wengine wanasema sisi tunaenda Jubilee, na ni viongozi na hata wananchi. Ukienda katika mikutano unasikia vile wanavyoongea, sisi ni one term. So there's a shift for the Standard to write that. That is very responsible journalism. Wameenda, wameona, wamesikia, they've done the analysis, na tumefikia hapo. Na ndio maana leo kwa neema ya Mwenyezi Mungu, rais mstaafu akiingia mahali, unakumbuka hata Nyayo Stadium wakati tukiwa na ibada ya marehemu Raila, alipoingia, na in fact kamera ikabidi switch kidogo, kwa sasa yani kulikuwa na fujo, yani sherehe, mpaka watu wakasema jamani tuko masishini. Na aliposimama kuongea ilibidi achukue muda ndo aweze kuongea, mpaka marais walikuwa wametoka nje wakamwangalia wakashangaa ni nini kinaendelea hapa. Na alivyoongea na baadhi yao wakasema sisi twajuta kwa nini hatukumsikiza huyu mzee wakati akiongea na sisi. Sasa hii hawataki kujuta tena. That's why the mountain is slippery.
But as we're looking at when we're talking about the mountain being slippery, and we also have Gachagua saying that he's vying, right? And then now you have your how do you call it, Fred Matiang'i from your party as well. We also have Kalonzo Musyoka. We have and Maraga. And yes, so we have a lot of candidates coming up and saying they're vying for the presidential seat, and you've also said that these people can actually come together and form one opposition. Is the agenda of the opposition to just remove President William Ruto?
That's the only way we can be able to do an overhaul and put this country back on track. We have to remove him.
Because he keeps on saying in his defense, he also says, our president also says that the opposition does not have a plan.
Well, we don't have to. Tell him our plan. We will tell people, Kenyans, our plan when we know it is the right time to tell them our plan.
When is the right time?
Unakumbuka yule unajua kwa class unajua juzi tuliambiwa kila mtu asome kwa. Mimi nilisoma Limuru Girls, so I went to Kiambu. And I thank God I went.
What's your plan?
kuna wale wengine kwa class labda alikuwa mzuri. Mimi nilikuwa very good in chemistry. Chemistry was like, and biology was like, wow, okay,
you're good in sciences.
Yeah, I would sit like the whole day, just to to be in a chemistry class. Anyway, so if you feel that if you know you understand this subject very well, wakati ukifanya exam ama kama unaandika, unaacha wazi kila mtu asome. And unaona yule anaketi next to you, he's competing with you so that he can get the marks that you are likely to get. So unafinika kidogo kwanza unaandika. And that's where we are. And kila kitu kiko na wakati wake na mikakati yake. So Ruto should not tell us when we are supposed to disclose our plan. And he needs to stop talking about us. Let him talk about what he has done, because we are paying him a salary to do it. The other day he was asking for another, was it 40 billion? Was it 4 billion or 40 billion? But then I won't even be surprised it's 400 billion. I mean, for State House, kuna some urgent needs. And I was like, dude, what is this that is so urgent, more urgent than fixing the mess at Kenyatta National Hospital? What is this that is so urgent in State House than fixing roads where people have to carry dead bodies on their hands, lift dead bodies because vehicles cannot pass there? What is so urgent to do with all those billions in State House, okay, that is more important than sending real, honest capitation fee to the children in schools? What is that is so urgent? And then Waziri goes to justify and says, yes, the president, for what? What, Ruto, and I'm addressing you right now, what do you need all those billions for in State House? I mean, clearly your priorities are upside down. I mean, we are talking about Kenyatta National Hospital, where people have to wait for other people to eat so that they can go and scavenge. That's scavenging. So that they can eat. And these are patients. And you cannot administer drugs and they work effectively if the patient has not eaten. So if we are reading it in the papers and hearing it on news that there's no, I mean, really? And these are people who actually went to the polling centers very early in the morning to vote for you, Ruto. I mean, how do you sleep at night when you have actually approved billions to renovate State House, and we have a mother from Kilifi who is blind and does not even have money to afford to buy anything for that kid, coming all the way to Shimolatewa in Mombasa County with a stick so that the kid can be admitted in grade 10. What is Ruto telling this country? Yes, we have a plan.
Yeah.
And plan number 1 is to remove him so that now we can reprioritize. what this country actually needs to move forward. So he should stop these stories of we don't want to hear Singapore.
I'm not agenda.
Beatrice, when you say
We have an agenda because we are Kenyans, for God's sake, born and bred here. Mimi nazaliwa hapa Makadara. Kitovu changu kinziko pale Makadara. Yes, cause General Makadara, nazaliwa Makadara cause General.
What's the I know you've said the first plan is to remove President William Ruto.
Because that's the only way, then we get him out of the way. Then now we sit because already no. Already, let me tell you. Okay. Let me tell you this. And you see, I am not at liberty to disclose the meetings that we have in planning what we are going to do for this country. Oh. We will disclose it in a manifesto. So wait for it. It's coming. Be patient.
There's something you've mentioned, and you've talked about what we are experiencing at a nation. You've talked about the healthcare system. You've talked about education. You've talked about roads, right? And we are saying the president, are you saying that the president is responsible for all this, and also just overlooking the fact that we have county governments and we have governors in different counties who are also responsible for certain things? And are you also saying that when it comes to corruption, when the opposition does away with the president, will that also absolve or rather mitigate the corruption problem that we have?
Yes, it will.
How?
And that's what I'm saying. You need to look at Matiangi's performance. Look at Kalonzo's performance, because those are the ones you've mentioned as presidential candidates. And look at Ruto. I served as agenda advisor to the Prime Minister, okay, when he was Prime Minister. And at that time, we had ministers, PSS. So our work at the Office of the Prime Minister was to coordinate government function. Okay? The presidency had their own function, and the Prime Minister had his own functions. And one of the things that we did was basically to have periodic meetings with the PSS from all the ministries. They used to come to our office. We used to sit with them, have a conversation with them just to understand. We used to develop the performance contracts. You see Karoli Omondi? I read a story there. What he did to Jeanette. I'll call Karoli and ask to confirm. Karoli was our colleague in that team, okay? And we used to receive the performance contracts, go through them, and then have a ceremony where they'll come and sign to perform. Now, during that time, you remember there was that May scandal. Who was involved?
Okay.
No, I'm not
the president. Okay, yes.
Which president?
The current.
Thank you. So... and I can go backwards. So all this information is out in the public domain.
Yeah.
You understand? So we know. And therefore we know what needs to be done to fix this country. I'm told of a story, and I'm yet to confirm that story, that there was a team of ministers and government officials who went to Singapore to benchmark. Kitambo walivyoenda kubenchmark wakaamba sasa nyinyi mnakuja kubenchmark hapa, na hata hii plan part of it we actually borrowed a leaf from Kenya, but we implemented. That was the difference. They were ruthless in implementing it, zero corruption, and to get it done. So yes, I agree with you. There are responsibilities that are actually preserve the county government. And I need to come here one day and just talk about the county government of Mombasa. Okay?
The county government or the county government of Mombasa?
The county
governments.
County governments.
Yes.
Okay.
Not the county.
Specifically the county government of Mombasa.
Now that we're in Mombasa, we'll also
talk
about Mombasa if you allow me.
Yes.
Okay. And we have a conversation around that. Yeah. I'm not... Well, at the moment, I'm not interested in the gubernatorial position, but just to highlight some things that I feel can be done to make Mombasa a better place. You understand? And I know if the governor listens to what I have to say, and he listens, at least when I have Nini, I call. I'm like, I went to a certain place, and there's something I saw, I think that needs fixing. And he actually fixes it. You understand? But you see, I have access. What of those who do not have access? How then do they bring that information? Through the MCS. Some of them are the ones... Anyway, let me not have that.
You digress.
Go there. Yeah, I'll digress. But I think as a country, we need to... And I remember one time, I can't remember I think I did a speech somewhere, and I told it was too hard, but I actually said I will actually do a harder one. And what I said in that speech, ni kwamba Rais Ruto achukue muda, a pause. And I think that was about a year and a half into office. Achukue muda, a pause. Asiongee. He just takes time to reflect. And I'm actually telling him now, I don't know if it will come to him as an advice, whatever way he wants to interpret it, but I'm just saying it as a voter. I'm saying it as a leader, and I'm saying it as a person who has worked in government. He just needs time to pause, listen, and reflect. You can actually listen but not reflect. Just aende tu mahali anyamaze. Anapiga matripu mengi, atulie tu. Hata kama ataenda asubuhi, aende, he has a nice place there. Aende akatulie, then he just takes time and just listens and analyzes. And he's a brilliant man. Analyze ni nini Wakenya wanasema, then as aongee na yeye mwenyewe na nafsi yake. So kama ni kitu kimekuwa raised na mzazi, ajiongeleshe kama babake Charlene. If it was me in the shoes, right now what Ruto needs is empathy for the Kenyan people. If he has just an ounce of empathy, leo ianze kukrop in his soul, he will rescind some of these decisions that he has made that are actually subjecting us to this.
Okay.
I remember one time I was on TV 47, pamoja na the current CS Ruto, and I asked him a question. You are here bragging about inaitwaje? There's this fund that they keep bragging about.
Kuna
Hustler fund.
Hustler.
You are bragging about Hustler fund na nini? Kamwambia, what have you used to measure impact? And he looked at me. He was like, many people are saying, give me numbers. Numbers of what you've disbursed versus numbers of how that money has actually grown to benefit Kenyan people. And he could not answer that question. The next minute, the guy is yes. I'm like, okay. So, what I'm saying is...
Yeah, Beatrice.
Mimi, nataka niseme hivi. We need to rededicate this country to God.
Okay.
All right.
I'm telling you.
All right.
Because some of these stories are horrific. Some of these stories that we hear are heartbreaking. Even right now, I'm tearing. The image of this lady, blind. By the way, there's a time I was giving uniforms last year in Kisauni. Alafu, kavlana kadogo tu, I think he's around 6. Akaja kuketi karibu na mimi. No shoes. I mean, clearly, hata labda he didn't have a bath, nini. But that's not even an issue. But he came and sat next to me, and then he lifted his legs to be comfortable like a miguu juu ya kiti. So I decided to engage him in a conversation. Nikamuuliza, baba, umekula? I don't know, in my spirit I just felt I needed to ask him that question. Akaniambia, nikamwambia umekula nini? And that was 5 p.m. Akaniambia nimekula hamri, not mahamri, hamri. So since morning that kid amekula hamri. So I ran out of that place and went and hid behind another house, and I wailed. And I cried. So my team rushed to see kama nimeumia mahali, I've been attacked, siasa. But when they came, wakanipatia tissue and whatever, they were like, mheshimiwa ni nini? I was just crying uncontrollably. Nikawambia, we have to fix this.
And that is a leadership problem.
Nikawambia, this is wrong. This is a kid who has not eaten the whole day. okay, I'm here giving them uniform to send them to school, but they will go back home where there's no food.
Beatrice, who is failing in that
Leaders.
in that matter?
Our leaders
Yeah.
are doing this, are seeking election as employment to earn a salary.
Yeah.
Because you cannot tell me today in Kisauni constituency, and I'll talk about Kisauni because I have an interest in Kisauni. Leo hii Kiharu kwa Mheshimiwa Nditinyoro,
Yeah.
wana basari pesa ya CDF wanayopata ni ya chini kuliko Kisauni. Imagine Kisauni inapata mgao wa juu zaidi kuliko Nditinyoro wa Kiharu constituency. Leo mzazi leo nilikuwa napigiwa simu asubuhi, nimepigia mtu asubuhi akaniambia jana alikuwa ameketi mahali Kisauni. Mwanamume mmoja akasema mke wangu alienda asubuhi akarauka. Na kuna clip iko watu wa mama wameketi chini. Wanangoja mbunge aje. Waombe, that is the word they use, waombe. Si wapewe, waombe. Wanaenda kunyenyekea, wanaenda kuomba basari. Akanambia mke wangu hata chupa maji hakupewa. Alikaa mpaka sijui saa 9 saa 10. Na katika hiyo klipu nimeona wameketi chini na wanafanya kupangwa songeeni, and I was like, this has to end. Na mimi kusimama Kisauni, kama ni jina Mheshimiwa tayari naitwa, by virtue of the position I hold in the party, by virtue of having served in government. So si title natafuta, sitafuti mshahara. Nashukuru Mungu ile kazi nafanya hapa na hapa biashara, nashukuru napata riski yangu. In fact wengine nikipata zaidi natoa pia kwa watu wa Kisauni isaidie. Na nikaambiwa kuna watoto wengine wamepita, niliwasaidia na basari. Nashukuru Mungu. Lengo langu la kusimama Kisauni ni kuregesha hadhi ya eneo bunge la Kisauni. Na kuregesha hadhi hii ni kuangalia mambo ya elimu, na sasa hii already kuna analysis na study na report ambayo inatengenezwa. Nime authorize hiyo report ifanyiwe because there is information I need to share with the parents.
Okay. And Beatrice,
pili, samahani,
it's okay.
Pia sekta nyingine ni kuangalia ajira. Because leo huyu mzazi akiwa na kazi, kale katoto hakata kula hamri siku nzima peke yake. Huyu mzazi akiwa na kazi, huyu mtoto hata kuja kuomba uniform ama ataenda shule. Wewe Barisa, nataka tuende siku moja ukasimame mahali. Last year mimi Mungu aliniwezesha nikanunulia watoto 95 uniform, viatu na socks. Leo hii karne hii Mombasa County hii Kisauni, watoto wanaenda mguu chuma shule. And you expect this kid to compete with a child in a private school who sits in a class that has an AC. I mean, really, how? So, right now I've talked to friends and they have said, because we are coming in to support, we are changing that constituency. That place, unaona Barisa, uko. Kama uishi uko, utahamia uko. Hata wewe. Utasema, let me move to Kisauni.
Tuijua Kisauni na, lakini tuwe.
Unanelewa?
Tahama kweli uko.
So, Basi, Beatrice, I'm going to have to cut you short. Thank you so much today. Thank you for making time. I know we've not touched on Kisauni as a whole, but we will when we have you here next time. And probably we'll have another representative from Kisauni as well, yes, right? Yeah. Yes, I think we need to have that conversation so that the person
Candid.
the person who's the representative should also have a right to reply, right? Yes.
Yeah, I would love, by the way, I would
love Bedzimba to
oh yes, to come and sit here. I would want for him to come and sit here because I have so many questions. And when we meet, sometimes ni kwa majukwaa, you know, I do my thing, he does his thing, and we go.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
But I would love for him to come and to have a debate, oh my God, on air.
It will happen.
Then the next one, we want to go and have it Kadongo grounds. Wananchi wote waje pale.
Yes.
Because I have documents. I have questions I need to ask you.
Twende.
Oh my God, I will be so
Let's go.
happy. I will celebrate. I'll throw
It
a
will
party.
happen. It will happen. Asante
Get him
sana.
here. I'll be very happy.
We'll get him here. Thank you,
Yes.
Beatrice, for making time today. We've been speaking to Beatrice Gambo. She's a deputy party leader, Jubilee, and she's also vying for a position in Kisauni. What I needed to ask is, what position are you vying for
Member
in Kisauni?
of National Assembly.
Member of National Assembly.
Yes.
All right, then. We will be right back. Good morning.